Hi, Frank. How's things?
Always something to do, you know. How many do you want?
Should take about 8, I think. No, you might as well fill her up.
Your Jack's back in district.
Hey, you fixed date.
Aye, that's why I'm interested in Jack. He's more or less promised to be best man.
Get on.
Aye, why shouldn't he be?
Just don't seem like Jack, that's all. Can't see him in church somehow.
Well, you'll get your chance. Janie's inviting you along.
I'd hope she would. Don't like missing chance of free drink.
What happened with Jack and that Wilkes girl?
As far as I know, out.
Oh.
Thought something would happen, did you?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised they're not married.
No, well, you're not alone in that matter either. No one's more surprised than Henry Wilkes.
Have they, I mean, is it all off between them?
As far as I can make out. And that's having not seen or spoken to either of them.
Could have come back here to work for her.
Not according to Henry Wilkes.
Whoa.
Oh, by the way, can we pay quarterly for this?
Well, monthly you can. Quarterly's a bit long to wait for money.
Right. Make it monthly, then. Charge it to Emmerdale Farm Limited. As of from yesterday, we're now limited company. Henry Wilkes managing director, so it's all got to be business-like from now on.
Right, well, you can just get down and come into the office. Credit to Joe Sugden's one thing, to a limited company it's another. You'll have to sign for it.
The price they charge for putting it in is monstrous. They put this trunk dialing on, promising cheaper calls, and then push up the rental and installation charges. You can't win with monopolies.
We've managed without a telephone up to now.
Hey, we've got to have one. Save me running down here every time I've got something to say. And save you running up to my place.
Who's that? How do we go on for private calls if it's company phone?
Well, nobody will be calling Hong Kong, will they? And local calls aren't worth the trouble of sorting out.
That go for your phone and all, will it?
Aye, Hicks is quick off the mark and no mistake.
And it's speaking out of turn, too.
Business is business.
Aye, it is. Be open and above board about everything. Speak your mind. You've got the right attitude.
Well, what about your phone?
You'll see statements, and it'll be up to you to complain if you think I'm overusing it for private calls.
Can't start off by spying on each other.
Oh, Mum, it isn't spying.
Of course not. We've got to start off as we mean to go on. If we're going to be successful, we've got to know where the money goes. Are you good at figures?
Well, I can add up.
Then you can keep the books.
Oh, God.
Just rough books to show exactly where everything's going. I'll get an accountant to put the polish on them. It'll be cheaper that way and give you something to do.
When kids come, I'll have my hands more and full with them.
Well, if you keep them up to date and do them regular, it shouldn't take more than a few minutes every day. Buy ledgers.
Do I get paid for doing this?
Peggy.
Well, it's a job, isn't it? If I don't do it, you'll have to pay someone else to do it, won't you?
What happens next?
Good grief, where do you spring from?
Oh, down at Gooseland, so I thought I'd pay a visit. Made yourself at home, haven't you?
It is my home. For the time being, anyway.
Well, you could have let us know you'd moved in. Why all secrecy?
I've got work to do. And I didn't want to get involved. Is everything fixed about the farm?
You could have said hello to Ma at least. And if you'd wanted us to stay away, we'd have stayed away. We can take an hint, you know.
Oh, don't be stupid.
Me? Did you honestly think you could haul up here without anybody knowing?
I didn't really think about it being known or not. I just came here. I'm sick of answering questions.
I said I could take a hint.
Now, come on, Joe. Here, have a drink. I get irritable when I'm working. Yeah, it's best from bottle. Anyway, Trash keeps the mugs in a permanent state of muckiness.
Now, why is he staying here? Oh, sorry. No questions.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ma said she saw a light on here about a week, 10 days ago. So I come down to see who was using place. Looked through back window and I saw Trash saying his prayers.
Prayers?
Well, he were on his knees with his hands clasped together, so I can't think what else he'd be doing.
Oh?
Thought I'd leave him at it. Well, he can't do no harm. Of course, didn't realise he were with you.
Well, you can set your mind at rest. I've not been praying with him.
Frank Blakey reckons you promised to pray with him. Promised to be his best man, he said.
He knows I'm here, then.
Thank you, darling. Yeah. It's from that Christian giving firm.
Are you going ahead with it?
That's a decision for the church council, not for me.
That's the theory.
You always make me feel as if I'm some kind of dictator.
Well, would the church council go against your wishes?
They don't just sit down and meekly do as I tell them.
What are you going to tell them to do about that, then?
I don't know. It's been proved to be a very efficient way of raising money, but I've got an inbuilt dislike of efficient ways of raising money. There's something unchristian, something remorseless about them.
It's certainly saved many churches from the remorseless effect of falling to pieces.
Oh, yes. Yes, they get the money into the right place. My job's to get hearts into the right place. I've yet to be convinced that this kind of organising helps.
Surely, anything that involves...
Hello, Vicarage. Yeah? Oh, hello, Mr. Verney. Yeah. Yes, of course. Oh, no, don't bother. I'll drop it in, shall I? Well, all right, if you wish. Yes, all right, bye-bye. Have you seen that book of Jack Sugden's?
It was on top of your commentaries.
Commentaries. Thank you. Only Mr. Verney he's going to drop in and pick it up. He wants to read it before meeting Jack on Friday. Thank you.
I hardly think it's his style.
No, but he's very punctilious about social courtesies. He's a peculiar man. Have the feeling there's something missing somewhere.
He should have lived 50 years ago. No, 100.
You know he's living up at the old mill with a tramp?
Hmm?
No, Jack Sugden. He's living up at the old mill with Trash.
Nothing Jack Sugden does would surprise me. And he is going to do something that may surprise you.
No?
He may be going to be Frank Blakey's best man. Janie Harker told me so.
Not as surprised as you might think. Different circumstances, he might well have become a priest.
Jack! Well,
Hello, Janie.
come on in.
Isn't the groom at home?
He's out back fixing a tractor. He shouldn't be long. Sit down.
Oh, you passed me on your bicycle. I waved, but you were too busy with the highway code to notice.
Oh, you should have called out.
Oh, I never call out to ladies in public. Not if they're on bicycles anyway, they might fall off.
You're going to be best man, then?
A promise is a promise is a promise.
Oh, Frank will be delighted. We'd been wondering what had happened to you.
I'm not getting wed to Marion Wilkes, which is what I imagine you really wanted to know.
I never really thought you would.
Oh? Very perspicacious of you.
I don't really think you're the marrying kind at all.
They used to say that about your Frank.
I never said it.
No. So it's to be all white and down the aisle, I hear.
I'm making the dress myself. It's going to be white organza and blue and white trimmings, and the bridesmaids are going to be in lilac.
Any special instructions for the best man? Hello, Frank.
Nah, then. I've been wondering about you.
What if I'd turn up? Well, I did say only if I was here, didn't I?
Aye, well, you are, and I'm glad. I've just been fixing your tractor.
Ah.
Hey, Matt! See who's here!
I read your book. Smashing.
That's the best crick I've ever had. Hello, Matt.
So, you've turned up then?
Oh, I never realised I'd been missed quite so much.
Not only here either. There's a telegram for you up at farm.
Oh, no rest, is there?
Well, I was going to bring it down to mill, but Ma said you'd got legs, and if you wanted it, you could come and collect it.
Sounds like she's got a welcome ready.
Well, it'd cost you nothing to drop in and see her. Well, I'll best be off.
Have you got the tractor?
Aye, Frank's just been fixing Bart at Tub.
I'll take a lift then. These shoes aren't made for the walking I've been doing.
Well, I'm on my way. Oh, petrol!
I'll see you then, Janie.
The 14th, don't forget.
I won't. I'm going to buy an alarm clock. And a calendar. I'm at the mill if you want me.
Did Jenny tell you at date?
She did, but I'll look in later anyway.
They work at the mill?
Oh, derelict. He lives there.
I'm all right. Oh, I can't afford to take chances where you are. I think I will sit down for a bit. Oh, that's sensible. That was a good old washdown, that. Pretty marble top got bust. Oh, I'll get Matt to put a wooden one on. It'll make a good desk. Happen we ought to put it in the front room. What do you say? You mean use front room as an office? Well, I would say so for time being. Till you get things started. But I don't fancy being without a room for visitors. You never use it anyway, visitors are not. Oh, is that Matt back? Ah, from Jackson. Oh, is he? I wonder he has the cheek. Where did I put that telegram? Well, you had it. I must have moved it with those things. Oh, I'm sure my mind's going. I wonder how famous he really is. No idea. You can hardly say it's gone to his head, can you? Nice of you to drop in.
I thought you'd be better off without me.
You could be right. May as well have a cup of tea while you're here.
Funny, I knew you'd say something like that. Well, Peg?
Do you mean well what, or am I well?
Everyone's sharp round here, aren't they?
What's this for, then?
Oh, it's a washstand. I thought it'd make... Oh, I think I'm going to have to sit down for a bit.
What's the matter, love?
It's not to worry about. I just feel a bit dizzy. Ought you to lie down, do you think? Oh, it was just shifting that washstand. It was daft. I shouldn't have done it. You can't be sure, can you? But it was that, you mean? It's then when it come on. You've been dizzy before when you haven't moved things.
I think you should see a doctor.
You're not a father as well as everything else, are you? Peggy. Well, it might be. Oh, I think I will go lie down for a bit. That's a sensible thing to do. Can you manage? Aye. Matt, you'll give me a hand, won't you, love?
Of course, love. Come on.
It wouldn't do for me to have a turn on stairs. Not now I've got this far.
You're all right. Just lean on me.
Just steady me up the stairs. It must have been the shock of seeing me long-lost brother. Come on. Oh.
She takes it very well, doesn't she?
I still think you ought to see a doctor. Here. I dare say that's what you come for, really.
I was on my way here before I met Matt.
Took your time, though, didn't you? How long you been back?
Don't keep track of time much. Week or two.
And it was too much trouble to come over and tell us what you've been up to.
Oh, not been up to much, really. Been trying to work. I'm not very sociable when I'm trying to work.
That's a poor excuse.
It's the only one I've got.
You dashed out of here, looking like you were all set to get wed to Marion Wilkes. Next thing we know, she's off on a cruise on her own. And you're back here, hiding away at Old Mill with a tramp for company. You can't put all that down to trying to work.
Best laid plans of mice and men. Not that I plan much, I act on impulse. Where's Grandad?
He's out with his pup. And don't change the subject.
I didn't change it, I'd finished with it.
Meaning you don't want to tell me what's been happening?
The romance is dead. Does that disappoint you?
I think Henry Wilkes would like to see you wed, Marion.
I asked about you.
Every mother's happy when her son's married and settled down.
Well, you best look to Joe for your happiness, Mother. Marriage isn't for me.
What's all this? Started, have they?
Aye, ripping it all out. I don't know I'm going to manage in just this bit. And noises driving customers away.
Well, I'll help you out. Fine.
Yeah, I've had brewery bosses down most at morning. I told them it had not business about doing it this way, but they would have it.
Oh, they're keeping you on then?
Of course they'll keep me on. I'm going over to offices next week to discuss policy of house once alterations are completed.
Well, I wish you luck.
Look? What do I want luck for? It'll be first-class house by time it's done. I've all luck I need.
Depends on what future policy is, don't it? Might not include you.
I'm not going through that with you again. I'll be here, all right.
But there's a big difference between running a country pub and an hotel. And that's what this place will be when they're done. Hotel.
I know business backwards.
I dare say, but it needs family man to create family atmosphere. And that's what Sir Peter Cheeverley wants.
Sir Pete? Oh, he's been confiding in you, has he?
No, I've just come across this. Interesting. At a meeting of the Northern Victualers Group, Sir Peter Cheeverley, chairman of Dale Breweries, said that his company intended to concentrate on developing their houses along family lines, with play areas for children and, well, etc., etc. Now, you can't call yourself a family man, can you?
He's coming for official opening.
Hey, hard luck, Amos. You know, it's a pity we didn't know someone who could put in a good word for you. I mean, there's not much chance of you getting married in time now, is there? Oh, you're right, I know it does get you about a bit, doesn't it? Ah, but cheer up. Worst comes to worst, I'll organise petition for you.
Aye, fat lot of good that'd do.
I don't know so much. Seems a nice enough chap to me. President of Children's Care Association, Publicans Relief Fund, Chairman of Prisoners Rehabilitation Board, founder of the Northern Area...
That.
Oh, what's it you?
Never you mind. But this might just be bit of luck you said I were needing.
Well, they're not coming round for dinner, you know. It's only for drinks.
You still want the place to look tidy, don't you?
It looks all right to me.
That might be because I've just finished.
Do you think I should have invited them round for dinner?
I don't know whether you should have done, but I'm glad you didn't. Mrs. Lurkin doesn't come in on Fridays.
I'm sorry I asked the Verneys anyway.
No, I'm glad. I like her. I'd like to know her better.
And I intend to ask Mr. Verney for a contribution to the tower restoration, and now it might look as if I've invited him round just for that.
Well, don't ask him tonight. The tower won't fall down for a week or two. Oh, I've just remembered. Mrs. Crosswaite called.
Oh, has she heard from Sharon?
No. She wondered whether you'd heard from Mr. Eady.
Poor woman. There's only a slight chance. Mr. Eady and she got on so well together, I thought she might have mentioned something to him. But he should have written by now.
I expect he's up to his eyes settling into his new parish. Try to get a replacement without such an obvious smile, there's a dear.
My opinion, for what it's worth, is get the doctor up to see her and let her argue it out with him. She can't afford to take risks, condition she's in.
Henry's right, Matt. Better to be safe than sorry.
She's so stubborn, that's the trouble.
She could be right. It could be nothing. But you've a right to have your mind made easy. After all, children will be yours as much as Peggy's.
Well, I better go down and telephone.
Come up and use mine if you like. Save fiddling about with money.
No, I'd rather go down to the box if you don't mind. Give me a chance to think about things.
He's worried, isn't he?
More than he likes to say.
Like it?
Don't believe in dressing up.
No, I don't much myself. I'm going for a drink at the vicar's, and it wouldn't be fair to his wife if I turned up looking as though you'd dress me. Know him, come to that. He's a decent sort of chap.
Don't practice what they preach, do they?
You don't like parsons?
I let them go their way. I go mine.
It's a free country.
Yeah.
If you come out with that once more, I shall start to believe it.
I found that.
Where?
By that stream up there.
Still working. Best hand it into the police. It may have been reported.
No, I'm not going near the police.
It's your business.
You give it to him.
It's hardly worth bothering. Not worth much.
Could be to the owner. That it could be. Must have cost a bit of working by someone to get that. Saving and... I don't know. It could be a present. Some boy, girl. Could be she's crying over that. Got to be hanging back.
You've convinced me. I'll drop it in at the station.
Oh, yes, it's remarkable, really. One watches children grow up, and you'll appreciate I've watched, well, quite a few. But I always thought Jack Sugden had something in him.
But you never knew what it was.
My wife's always deflated me.
I must say, I find it hard to realise the book was written by a country boy, don't you, George?
Well, it's certainly more sophisticated than I'd expected.
I don't suppose you sympathised with it much. I didn't. All the victims were women.
Ah, isn't that what women are always complaining about?
They are exploited.
Then it only makes the book more realistic. That's the way it is in life, and that's what Jack Sugden's saying.
I can see you're a fan of his.
Oh, yes. Yes, I've always liked him. Now, I must admit, he seems to be getting a bit eccentric these days. Do you know he's living up at the old mill with a tramp?
Well, that derelict old place?
Yes. I can't understand that. I mean... Oh, that'll be him now.
I'll go.
Thank you, darling.
The old mill? Surely there can only be one old mill in the village.
Yes, there is. Don't you know it?
Oh, yes, I've seen it. As a matter of fact, I drove past it today.
Let me introduce you. Jack Sugden. This is Mrs. Burney.
How do you do?
Delighted.
Mr. Burney?
How do you do?
How do you do?
And my husband, of course, you know.
Good to see you, Jack. Glad you could come.